In this video, we're going to show you how to install parking brake shoes on your Nissan Murano located behind the rear brake rotors. With the vehicle raised and supported, so it's going to use our 21mm socket to loosen and remove these lug nuts. Grab the wheel and remove it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 14mm wrench, and there are two bolts holding our caliper in place. These are 14mm. I'm going to go ahead and spin this bolt out. So I'm going to go ahead and start to spin this out. Now this is a slide pin, and this goes all the way through into our caliper bracket. Now we can't remove this because this is in the way. I'm going to go ahead and break that up one free. All right, going to spin this one out. So what we're going to do is we're now going to focus on the bolts holding the caliper bracket. There's a larger one here, and then there's one down below. We need to go ahead and loosen and remove these, and we're going to remove the caliper and the bracket all as one. Now these bolts are 19mm. I'm going to use a deep socket in my ratchet to go ahead and get up and around this. Let's go ahead and break this free. Now I'm not going to remove this. I do want it there to stabilize the unit. On the bottom side here, we're going to use our 19mm box end wrench. And we're just going to continue to loosen this and remove that bolt. And you probably get this to a point where you can go ahead and grab the bolt and continue to spin it out. Remove that with the washer. Now that we have the lower bolt out, we can go ahead and remove the upper bolt. I'm going to support the caliper and the bracket together. Pull that bolt out. Go ahead and slide this off. I'm going to tuck this over in the back. I'll go ahead and grab that brake rotor, slide that off, and set that aside. Now with our brake rotor off, our brake shoes are on the back and the front here. Now this is our adjuster wheel. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver. And you want to go ahead and adjust this to basically close this up. By moving this wheel towards you, it'll expand it. And if you rotate it inward, it'll close it up. Let's go ahead and remove our spring. You can use a pair of pliers if you want. I have a modified flathead screwdriver with a little notch in the middle. In most cases, this will help to get behind that spring, push it off, hook it, and you can remove it from the other side and set that aside. Now I want to remove the adjuster here. You're going to pull the shoes apart. It should give you enough access to go ahead and pull this out. Now that is supposed to pull out like that. One side is free floating, pivoting, and the other side is threaded in. You do want to take note that the threaded part will face towards the front of the vehicle. Very important. Now on the bottom side here, we do have another spring. It connects the rear shoe to the forward. Now that we have the spring released from the rearward shoe, we're just going to leave it connected to the front one for now. Now we're going to focus on the spring retainers. There's one here, and there's one on the forward shoe. Now this here has a slot in it. We're going to use our flathead screwdriver, and we're going to push in and twist. Should be roughly 90 degrees, and that will release. You can see that shoe is coming off. Now this has a few components to it. You want to make sure you don't lose them. There's a spring, there's a cap, there's a pin, and as you work this out, ours is a little bit kind of rusted and crusted on there, but there's a inboard cap as well. Go ahead and set that aside. With the rear shoe removed, we're going to repeat the process for the forward. As this comes off, that spring is going to come off with it as well. Now with our forward shoe off, we're going to remove this spring. We'll be reusing this. Before we install our new components, we want to go ahead and clean the backing plate here. There are 6 contact points that the brake shoes will be touching, and they're raised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to use some spray solvent. Start by cleaning down, rinsing off the old brake dust. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little bristle brush right on those contact points. Want to clean those off. Rinse it one more time. You also want to make sure that the park and brake actuator here is loose and free floating and all the pivot points are good. If this is binding up, you do need to work on this. Spray it down with some rust penetrant, lube it up, and do what you need to do to get that operating properly. At that point there, we can go ahead and start the installation of our brake shoes. I'm going to start by applying a little bit of silicone paste to these contact points. Now, it doesn't have to be big globs of it. You just want to put a light coating on there. I'm going to go ahead and take our spring, install that, and this goes over the actuator on the bottom. So feed that over, and the shoe itself will actually engage into that as well. I want to take our pin here, and the pin is a blade that's actually going to fit into the slot into the backing plate. So you're going to push that in and turn it a quarter turn. That'll lock it into place. You can bump our shoe into position here. All right, let's now go ahead and install the rearward shoe. Take our rearward shoe. Want to line this up. Installing this here, make sure that the larger notch is on the top and then the smaller notch is on the bottom. It's going to be the same for the front. Going to line up your pin just as we did on the front. Lock that into place. We can go ahead and connect that lower spring here. And make sure that's seated there. Now we have our adjuster here. And in most cases here, this should be rebuilt and cleaned up. So go ahead and pop the end out. And then go ahead and unthread this here. Now if you remove this all the way, you want to take note that the star adjuster is further to the front. There's a larger section on the rear. Pretty important on your reassembly. Pull this apart. Go ahead and clean this. If you find it necessary, you could use a spray solvent on it. If it's rusty, use a wire brush or a wire wheel machine to go ahead and clean the threads. Inspect this here, make sure that the threads are good in there. Apply some anti-seize compound to this. The other end here, once again, if you find it necessary, use some spray solvent on it. If this is really in bad shape, it's probably a good call to go ahead and replace it at that point. Ours is in really good shape. Put a little bit of anti-seize compound inside here and pop this together. Make sure that the slots are lined up like so and install it. With that set up, we can now install our spring. Give it a few bumps back and forth, make sure everything is centered, lined up. Now comes the point of adjusting the parking brake shoes. And this is completely collapsed at this point because of the adjuster is totally collapsed. And we're going to go ahead and grab our brake rotor and we're going to set it up so that there is minimal amount of contact between the parking brake shoes and the inside of the rotor. I'm just going to use the handle of my screwdriver and bump these up. If you look around the perimeter, you're going to look for the gap around the perimeter here, and you want it to be pretty much even all the way around. Take your brake rotor and you want to pop out the rubber plug, the sight window. Just use your finger on the other side, pop it out, and then go ahead and line this up. All right, go ahead and push that on. Now what I like to do is throw on a couple lug nuts. I want to make sure that that rotor is pretty much on all the way. Then we'll go ahead and rotate this. This is pretty much what we need right there. We need to get some mobility. And what we're going to do is we want to have a little bit of drag. Going inside this port here, we can actually see the adjuster wheel. And what we need to do is rotate that wheel towards us by pushing on the little star tabs. And what we're looking to do is create just a little bit amount of drag on this here. And by doing that there, what's going to happen is it's going to expand the brake shoes on the inside of the rotor hat here. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so you're going to adjust this here so you can see the adjuster. Now you want to go too far, you want to do a few turns and then go ahead and see what we have. And right there, I actually have just a minimum amount of drag. I go just a tiny bit more. It's perfect right there. Now, for any reason, if you do adjust it too far, simple. Remove the lug nuts, remove the rotor, and spin that wheel back, and then you're going to repeat that process. Now, at this point here, we have the perfect amount of drag on there. Remove the lug nuts. Grab that little rubber plug, pop that on. At this point here, it's best to go ahead and clean up the brake rotor, get rid of any grease or dirt, debris that you might have gotten on there by handling this. And do the other side as well. You can go ahead and rotate that rotor around, cleaning that. Perfect. All right, let's now go ahead and install our brake caliper and bracket. Go ahead and line this up, slide it over the brake rotor. So good, get your bracket lined up here. Next thing we want to do is we're going to go onto the back side and install the 2 anchoring bolts on the caliper bracket. Let's go ahead and get our bolt lined up here, and we'll just kind of wiggle this bracket around until that lines up. And we'll get that started. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this in almost all the way, but I am going to keep it loose so we have the pivotable option here to go ahead and get that lower bolt lined up and started. All right, let's go ahead and install that lower bolt. Let's go ahead and get our bolt lined up in here, work that in. Thread that in as far as you can by hand. We'll go ahead and snug this down. We're going to torque this down using our crow's foot socket here to 62 foot-pounds. Now, while we're here, we're going to go ahead and tighten down our slide pins here, at least on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and torque this down using our crow's foot wrench to 32 foot-pounds. Let's go back up top and torque those. All right, on the top here, I'm going to go ahead and run our slide pin bolt in all the way. We'll snug that, go right into torquing it to our 32 foot-pounds. Then we'll go ahead and tighten down the bracket bolt. And then we'll torque that down to our 62 foot-pounds. All right, let's go ahead and remove our lug nut. Now at this point here, you want to go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. When you're all done with that, go ahead and pump up that brake pedal, make sure that piston expands out on both of these here. Install your wheels, and then we'll go ahead and top off that brake fluid. Grab your wheel, get that set up onto the studs. Now I want to go ahead and start all of the lug nuts by hand. That's going to help prevent cross-threading. Once we get all these installed, we go ahead and snug them down. And let's go ahead and snug them down. Now let's go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. And when doing this here, it's best to do this in a crisscross or star pattern. With the hood open, go ahead and locate your master cylinder reservoir. Before opening up the cap, I want to go ahead and grab some spray solvent and a rag. Spray this down and clean this. We don't want to have any debris fall down inside of this reservoir when we open it up. On the side, you're going to see the min and max line here. Make sure you're using the appropriate brake fluid recommended by the manufacturer. Go ahead and fill it up to that max line. Close up the cap. Take it for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.